All right, we're live. All right, guys. We're live and lively on another edition of Mana'o at Home, presented by the Weekly Dish and Mana'o Radio from the beautiful island of Maui in Hawaii. I'm so blessed to have a very special guest here today for my 19th episode. Can you believe it? The little show that could that we started in May. We're on number 19, and it's October 1st. It's the harvest moon, so make sure you guys look up tonight, the beautiful full moon. We have 2 full moons this month, so just on par with the strange days. Why don't we have 2 full moons, in October? So today we welcome a legendary luthier. He's a musician, songwriter. He's so cool. Like when you see Cool Cat, like this is this guy, man. And he just has a really humble soul. And also I love his outlook on life. It's very positive. And I'm just so happy to have him. We've got a cool setup today. I don't know if you guys have noticed, this is 4 screens. That's his play shop, and we're gonna take a little tour of that later. So that's where all the magic happens. He's been making guitars for, oh man, almost 50 years for some of the biggest names in the world, from Paul Simon and George Benson to Keola Beamer and Jake Shimabukuro. So very excited to welcome the one, the only, the man, Steve Grimes!
Ah! Hello, everybody. Aloha.
They're going crazy over here.
I've done one of these shows before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, speak into the mic a little bit more. They're a little quiet. There we go. So we are live from your home in Kula, correct?
Right, from my studio in Kula. It's been kind of quiet in the studio, but some great jam sessions and some great parties have happened in this room.
You called it Club Kula yesterday. I was loving that. Well, today, we're going to share some stories from your past, all the way from your days in Baltimore, Seattle, to, your beautiful transition to Maui, and how lucky are we to have you. I know every string slayer that I know, or anyone that plays an instrument on this island, when I mention your name, they perk up a little. They get excited.
Mike, okay? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
So let's start off with a song, whatever you want. Yeah, and we'll get this party started on Mana'o at Home. Thanks for being here, Steve.
Thank you for having me. This is going to be unique and going to be fun. I thought I'd start off with a song that when I think Mana'o Radio, I think of this song. And it's a tune that I wrote the day Kathy Collins called me from Phoenix, Arizona, to let me know that Barry Shannon had left the planet, as she put it. And the songs come and go, and this one came so fast and so easily. It was just the emotion driving the song. But in a few hours, I had written and I called her and I said I would love to perform it at this celebration of life, and that was the first time I actually broke it out in public. And it's a song called Over the Waves. Was a radio man. He could talk the talk with a dream and little more. He surely walked the walk. He had a plan, he had a vision, sending music everywhere. This man was truly on a mission. He put magic in the air. million tales and vivid stories, Mana'o that he freely gave, and an endless repertory, beaming over the waves. He was a virtual musician, and the muse was in his heart, and to the end a true magician. The airwaves was his art. Rhythm inside is quiet now, but the beat goes on and still somehow his signal is strong. And the song goes on and on over the waves, out over the waves. You hear a lot of people talking about the things they're gonna do, all their grandiose ambitions after the deal goes through. But the radio man, he could make a dream come true. He got the ship to come in before his show was through. Now he's sailing calmer waters, broadcasting on another phase. I hear familiar sounds coming over the waves. Rhythm inside is quiet now, the beat goes on and still somehow his signal is strong. And the song goes on and on over the waves, out over the waves, over the waves, out over the waves. You go on and on and on and on and on and on, out over the waves.
Ow, ow! Yeah. I was just having a little issues there with the internet.
We want some crowd noise in here.
We need one of those, what is it? The applause. I love the applause thing. Yeah, we need one of those. I'll try to be loud for everybody. So if you could just talk a little bit more into the mic, because you're a little bit quiet for some reason, but I want to talk.
Drink this just a little bit.
Yeah, maybe turn that up a little. Thank you.
Okay. Let's try this.
Okay.
So can I invite my wife, Mariana, to join me for a song?
Wonderful. And you guys have lived in Kula for how long?
Well, I've been here in Kula, in this house, for 33 years.
Wow, wonderful.
Mariana joined me about 7 years ago. Come, come, come.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have his lovely wife.
This is Mariana. At the time, she was teaching 6th, 7th, and 8th grades in Lahaina. And she was also a crew member of Hokulea, one of the legs of the worldwide journey. And when she returned, you should be telling this story, right?
I want to hear how you tell it.
She wants to fact check me. She asked me if I would write a song for the 8th grade kids that was the essence of Malama Honua, take care of the planet. And she's been teaching that concept to her kids for ages. And so I came up with this song. I taught it to the kids. The coolest version I'll ever hear is the kids doing the rap part. About 30 kids, no, 20 some kids doing the rap part. That was kidding. But anyway, it's on the album.
Labor of Love. No. The Ocean Road.
The Ocean Road.
The Ocean Road.
Oh, I love that.
Without further ado, this is good advice for everybody. You want to say something? Oh, okay. People you love, you better hold on to. Got to give them your time and the best that you do. Don't let them stray too far away. You got to love them like there won't be another day. 'Cause nothing can be better than good family and friends. So make sure that the bond you share never ends. 'Cause if you let it go, you may never get it back. And that's just a fact, Jack. So malama your mama, malama your dad, malama ohana, the people you have. Your uncle, your cousin, your neighbors too. It's our kuleana to do all we can do. The world we know is changing fast. So much we take for granted will never last. Once it's gone, you know it's gone for good. For the things we've been blessed with, we should knock on wood. Wherever you wander, wherever you roam, wonderful on here, we're all here at home. It is an island and the sky is the sea. And your land is my land, so I'm sure you will be. To Malama Viana, there's so much to do, not just in Lahaina, cause the world needs you too. It's gonna take all of us, but starts with you. So Malama yourself, cause that's the first thing to do. Now what you gonna do when it all comes down and fake food's all that comes up from the ground and fishes in the ocean all floating on the top? Is that the only thing that's gonna make us all stop and take a look around and find a better way for every living species to see another day when the sun shines down on the world in sync and all God's creatures aren't living on the brink? So it's time we all stop before it's all gone. There's no time left to right the wrong. We gotta get down to it and we all gotta do it. Won't you help me get started? Help me sing the song. Now along the whole new, taking care of the world. We all come cool, every boy and girl, every mama, every papa, every sister, every brother. Gotta get together, try to help one another. Your mama, malama, your dad. Malama, oh, Hana, the teacher you have. Malama, your mama, malama, your dad. Malama, oh, Hana, the student you have. Yo.
Ow, ow!
Mariana.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mariana, that was so cool. You guys are adorable.
I like my mama.
Oh my God, ladies and gentlemen, that was so cool. I heard you did that. Yay, that was so cool. She's a rapper. What does it say?
On this shirt. He also designed the Malama Your Mama shirt besides coming up with the song.
Ah, very cool, very cool. That made me so happy. I could see a bunch of kids dancing to that for sure.
Oh, they really got into the rap part. They got nasty. I mean, they
Oh, now, Steve, not only do you build, these world-class custom, specialized pieces, but you also give back to the community a lot. And you're kind of a hero with this group. And I loved when we were talking about the Ukulele Kids Club. I wanted to hear a little bit about that. What a beautiful organization. And you've done so much. You've donated so much money, or donation through you. There's been so much donations. And tell us a little bit about that club.
Well, I found out about the club about 4 years ago at the Ukulele Guild of Hawaii annual conference at a hotel in Waikiki. And I was approached by a guy named Eddie Monier, who pretty much started the concept of getting a group of luthiers to build a high-end, really ornate ukulele and donate it to the Ukulele Kids Club. And then they would take these ukuleles, it turned out to be 6 luthiers that said, I'm in. And so they had these 6 ukuleles on display in Honolulu. And a guy came along and bought the collection for way more than we dreamed, way more than we dreamed. But we raised a lot of money for the Ukulele Kids Club, and it was just an incredible success. And so I've just been a big fan of the Ukulele Kids Club. They're based in Florida, but they work with kids, terminally ill kids or perpetually ill kids in hospitals and other care centers. And they try to lighten their load by giving them an ukulele, maybe not a $7,000 ukulele, but they give them, the money was actually used to buy, I don't know how many thousands of ukuleles for kids, but they give them an ukulele and they also help them get started and teach them how to get started. And it really is something they can do in bed, and they're creating, it's just a wonderful therapeutic thing for these kids.
Wow, that's so beautiful.
This work all over the world, as I understand. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I loved when you did that Maui. Really, the last gig you had was the Maui Coffee Addict, right?
Oh yeah, that was the Ukulele Kids Club live stream.
Yeah, that was cool.
It was during that show that I got the idea that, okay, I had said, if anybody wants, just like NPR, if you donate $50, you get a Grimes Guitars t-shirt, and I'll throw in 2 CDs, and just trying to get people to donate to the club. And then I just got the idea halfway through to just say, and if you donate $10,000, you can get a custom designed Grimes instrument of your choice. And I went, did I just say that?
You're like, what did I set myself up for here?
It was good. It was really good. And so I think Corey, the director of Ukulele Kids Club, said it wasn't 5 minutes before somebody called and committed.
Yeah. Well,
So,
you have that special touch, sir. Now, you're originally from Baltimore, correct?
It's pronounced Balmer.
I like that. And then I love your story, how you drove across the country to San Francisco, and it wasn't the Hayden Ashbury that you thought it was.
Yeah, that was where we were headed. Early 1970.
So cool.
9, we decided we would go live in Haight-Ashbury. And by that time, I think the flower power, peace and love, had kind of moved out of Haight-Ashbury. And there was a bunch of nasty looking people destitute as well.
You're so cool. And then I love that you ended up in Seattle, or outside of Seattle, and just a beautiful music scene there. And you're an engineer. That's where this luthier.
I used to be an engineer, and I got a job as a draftsman, and I was called a junior engineer for one of the engineers at Boeing. And basically my job was just drawing airplane parts. And as you might expect, every part that you change affects 100 other parts. And so there's all this, even back then, this is 1970, there was all this computer work that you had to do to make sure that this new configuration of this item changed everything down the trail, down the line, so that it all worked. And that's when you're up in an airplane, you want to have confidence that drives the job.
Well, it makes me feel good that you were part of a team. Because now It's kind of like when you create guitars, every little piece makes a difference in the sound, and you really are meticulous. And we'll talk a little bit more of that. I can't wait to go into your shop because it just shows how amazing, how much it takes to make an instrument, you know? People buy instruments, but they don't really know behind what happens. And so we're so happy to have you. By the way, Steve is not only gracious with the Kids Ukulele Club, he's donating all of his tips today to Mana'o Radio, which is very, very benevolent and beautiful. So if you guys are feeling tipsy, please Venmo at Mana'o Radio and support community volunteer radio. All right, let's hear a little bit more from Steve Grimes. What do you got next, sir?
I have a song that the beginning of this song, it was co-written with my friend Steve Stusser from Seattle, my favorite playing partner on the planet. And we were sitting around this Villa, what was it? Villa Marcello in the town of Levada, northern Italy. And he started playing this little reggae-ish kind of thing. And I said, what is that? And he said, I don't know. So we played it for a while and we added a little bridge to it or a chorus or whatever. And then months later, when I got back to Maui, I wrote some lyrics for it and it came out as a song about tattoos. And it's called Tattoo. I'm trying to put your memory to rest, but I still got this reminder of you on my chest, and a heart inside that's just as black and blue. Now I got to find another girl with a name just like you. Just when I think I got both of my ducks in a row, just when I think I finally got the will to let go, I take a long look in the mirror and it's painfully clear I'm emblazoned with your name and it will always be here. What can I do, sweet honey, do? All you left me was this old tattoo. Now the only thing that I can do is find another girl whose name is Honeydew. I guess I never thought when we were riding high that this little dream I had would wither up and die. You said you're not always right, but you're never wrong. And I said I was never always wrong until the day you came along. Every time I see Miss Brandon with your name, there's a voice that tells me I'm the only one I got the blame. Stole my heart and my Fender Strat, and when you left you even had the nerve to ask me who could love you better than that. What can I do, sweet honey, do? All you left me was this old tattoo, and a heart inside that's just as black and blue. I've got to find another girl whose name is Honeydew. Well, I wanted something I could never wash away. I never thought it would be something I regret today. I believed it was right, I believed it was true, and I believed the truth was something that you can't undo. At the time I thought that we were like indelible ink. The love you had for me was only skin deep. I think I bit a little more than I can chew. And now the deal is due. What can I do, sweet honey, do? All you left me was this old tattoo, and a heart inside that's just as black and blue. And I'll never find another girl whose name is Honeydew.
Ow, ow!
And a brand new video.
I know.
Thank you, Greg DiPiazza and
Yeah.
Isit. There's a video out. It's on up on my Facebook page. It's on YouTube. It's called Tattoo. It's pretty funny.
Greg's going to be on the show with Joel Katz in November.
Greg is? Okay, cool.
Yeah, they're going to be on the show. I know. I actually shared the show. If you go to the event page, I shared that video. It's really trippy. I like how it's done. It's really fun. Steve, do you have any tattoos?
I don't have any tattoos.
None? No tattoos? Ooh, that's one of y'all. So you're holding right there one of your signature double sound hole.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that for those unfamiliar with that beautiful instrument.
This is a guitar, double hole guitar style that K.O. Beamer got me going on in, I think, about 89. I didn't invent the design. He had several guitars of this style. But I became a believer after I made one. And I was amazed at its sound. And it's not that it's better than a center sound hole, it's just way different. And for Saki and Hawaiian music, it just, or any kind of music that uses lower tunings in the low strings, it's got a great sound. So I had to have one. Put my name on the list.
I put my name on
the list.
Do you ever, how many, I don't even know if this is possible, maybe you do know, how many guitars do you have of your own?
Probably 4, 3 or 4.
That's it?
Yeah.
I thought you would have more.
No, I actually do this for a living, Trish.
Okay.
I wish I could keep all of them.
I know, right? We were talking about that the other day. You said you don't have any children, but you have many, many kids all over the world. That made me smile.
K.O. Beamer quote.
Yeah, I love that. I love that. And we'll talk a little bit more in a little bit about your one grand party that you had. If you would like to share a little bit about that. And it was on Leap Day. How special was that? You made it right before COVID shut down. It was like magical.
Shut down. It was on Leap Day. I can't say enough about how fortunate I was to have scheduled it then. I thank Anela Gutierrez at the King Kamehameha Golf Club. She helped me schedule it back in February of 2019. And she offered me February 29th of this year and March 28th. And I took February 29th because of Leap Day. I thought, that's a cool date. It only happens once every 4 years. So I grabbed that day, and I'm so glad I did, because if I'd chosen March 28th, the party would never have happened.
Ooh. And that was so it was the 1,000th guitar and the 1,001 ukulele. So it was 1,000 and 1,001, and it was freehand artist models. I like how you called them that. And they were auctioned off as well. Go ahead.
It's just both the guitar and the ukulele. It's a little bit off of kilter from the design of a regular symmetrical figure 8. This is called a figure 8 design. And so it's just a little askew, a little ergonomic, and unique. And it has a very cool sound. And so it seems to be taking off, both in the guitar and in the ukuleles. I'm making a lot of the freehand model.
Wonderful. Well, let's hear what that beautiful piece of, I guess, piece of wood it has. Thank you so much for being here. Once again, we have the one and only Steve Grimes. Super stoked.
So happy to be here.
Yeah, this is really cool.
I need to actually have words in front of me on these new songs, because all the songs, all the words, where is it? It's called After the Rain. I'm going to have to ring it. I don't have the words to it. Nope, don't even have the words there. All right, I'm going to wing the words. When I write songs, there usually is a lot of words, and they can't all fit in one song. And there's better words and there's not so good words, and so I throw out verses, or I'm sure most songwriters do that. But those thrown out verses, they come back and haunt you because you cannot delete them. They're still somewhere on the hard drive. And so you're stuck with coming up with words that you didn't mean to say. This is a song called After the Rain. And I had the very good fortune of meeting Todd and Leah from Inflatable Film. And they're working on a documentary on Grimes guitars, artistry in Maui, the culture in Hawaii. It's just kind of an all-encompassing, quintessential look at what we have here in terms of life on Maui. And in working on that, they were filming at the One Grand event. And there's a lot of great footage in the shop and then at the event. But they heard this song and offered to help me do a music video. And it's on my Facebook, it's on YouTube, it's out there. And it's called After the Rain. Little ode to optimism in these fairly dark times. The walls of this old house weren't meant to be a shelter to hide us from things that we can't even see. These turbulent times, all the lightning and thunder will wane. We'll splash through the puddles of trouble and pain. Catch drops of sunlight after the rain. Whatever the weather brings, flooding or drought, we're in it together, whether we like it or not. Soon we'll be free and we'll thank the old sun for what he's done. We work as one world, there's so much to gain. We'll shower with laughter after the rain. If we just hold the line after the storm, the sun always shines. We've got to hold the line. The clouds will clear. We'll have that beer. We'll be fine if we just hold on. Old Proverbs warn us, the demon stands at the gate. All things will pass for those who are willing to wait. We'll open the door on the dawn and welcome the day. World will still turn like this old weather vane. We'll dance with our shadows after the rain. If we just hold the line after the storm, the sun always shines. We've got to hold the line. The clouds will clear. We'll have that beer. It will be fine if we just hold on. Warm wind will ride on the waves of grass. Sure as the sunset, this too shall pass.
Ow, ow.
Thank you.
I love that song. I love how it's so beautiful. It's a beautiful song. It really takes you on I really feel like I'm in the rain whenever I hear that.
Have you seen the video?
I love the video. I was going to just plug it. If you guys go to it.
See the video, you totally feel the rain.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And this is a good segue because I want to go into your shop.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you want to take a break, take a moment, and then he's gonna teleport.
That works.
So while Steve's teleporting, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about, so he has been invited by actually Inflatable Film, who did that beautiful song. If you look at the video, it's on the grimesguitars.com, but also inflatablefilm.com. They're a world-class video production company from Seattle/Sun Valley, and lives in Kula. And they live right down the street from Steve, and it was almost like this, magical meeting. Oop, there he is. Hey, Steve.
Hey.
This is our first time trying this out. I love it. So yeah, he's actually gonna be, they're in the midst of developing a documentary about Steve, which is very exciting. It's called One Grand, and it just follows his beautiful journey and, almost half a century of making beautiful guitars and music. And yeah, just a really cool soul. You kind of transcend all that there is, because you're singer, songwriter, luthier. You can do it all, man. And you're so cool. You're a cool cat. So once again, he's donating all of his tips to Mana'o at radio. So please, if you're feeling tipsy, go to Venmo and donate at mana'oradio.com. So Steve, we are in your happy place. This is your happy
yes.
Let's do
Now
that.
I'm going to try.
Yeah.
I'm going to pick up
Take a
the
little
stone.
walk. Cool.
Now, okay.
The
So
magic happens.
this is the main. I can only see this one little thumbnail thing. I hope I'm getting this lined up right. But this is the main room of the shop, and you are seeing a typical day's chaos and clutter. I don't waste a whole lot of time cleaning my shop.
You're creating art. There has
That's
to be
right.
a mess.
That's
Art's
right.
messy.
So anyway, this is the room. There's a few instruments up on the wall there that are either just finished or almost finished. This is the main room of the shop. And
Wonderful.
I'm sorry, what?
No, go ahead. I'm just gonna highlight this and make it bigger.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
the main room. This is my tiny little spray booth. And in the spray booth, there's always a couple of instruments in the process of being lacquered. Each instrument gets about 11 coats of lacquer. Is this working?
Yes, it's very cool. This is
Okay.
very cool. We're doing something very different.
Here's another angle of the shop. And I'll take you into the wood room. It's not, as the door says, the ladies' room.
Wow.
So
So much.
this is, I love coming in here and just breathing the air, because there's woods from all over the planet in here, and they all just mix together and make this incredible aroma. So each chunk of wood is marked with where I got it, the date. This one says February of '01. So some of the wood goes back to the 70s, the late 70s. I still haven't used it yet. Here's some wood from September of '05, Carpathian spruce, and various types of wood, and some of the exotic hardwoods. And that's the wood room. This is one of the two machine rooms. This is a wide belt sander. This is a 3-inch resaw. Let me turn some, there's some instruments coming together there. And then back here, my partner, Russell, works back here, and he does so much work on all the instruments, from trim work, putting on the edging, the binding, the purfling, to doing rosettes, and all the trim, all the fancy stuff happens back here. And that's it. It's not a big shop.
That's a magical land. That's a candy land for guitarists. This is like heaven.
Well, it is kind of a cave. I guess you could say it's a man cave. This is what I call the wall of shame.
I see George Benson right there.
Some of the folks I've had the pleasure and the privilege of meeting and building guitars for. And that's it.
Wow. Well,
So,
that's enough. That's not it. That's incredible. This is like a museum of Maui. This is a landmark.
is it too early to see? It's way too early to see any moon, and we're also in the fog, so I'm not sure how much moon we're going to see tonight.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I'm going to turn this off because of the slapback echo that I'm getting if I take this phone down into the studio.
Cool. Well, thank you so much for that beautiful tour. We'll see you on the other side.
You're welcome.
Very, very cool. Very cool. Oh, man, we're so lucky to have you today, aren't we? I tell you what, I'm going to mute that now. All right, thanks, guys, for being here. I'm Trish da Dish. We're live with Steve Grimes of Grimes Guitar. He just took us through a stroll through his play shop, as we like to call it. And that's where the magic happens. I tell you what, I have so many friends that are guitarists that just are big fans of what he does for the music scene here on Maui. And how special is it that we have him on this island? And I feel blessed. I don't even play guitar.
We're blessed to be here.
Well, we're always blessed to have someone like you on the show. Now, one of your signatures too is the arch top, which for some people that don't understand, what is an arch top?
An arch top guitar is a guitar that was designed in the late 1800s by a guy named Orville Gibson. And then he had a lot of help from other people after he got going. But he wanted to incorporate some of the building techniques of the violin family. So he thought, well, if I built a guitar like a cello, how would that work? So a cello doesn't have a flat surface for a top like this. So it's an arched surface that's thicker in the middle. It's carved. you can't make a quality instrument by pressing spruce into the shape of this arch. It has to be carved, excuse me, from a thick piece. So he used some of the techniques of cello making to make a guitar, and found that it had a lot of carrying power. It's so in the days before they had amplifiers and pickups, they needed carrying power, because in the orchestras back then, the jazz orchestras, the big bands, they were competing with piano, a horn section, drums. And so the guitar player was part of the rhythm section, and he just had to bang it out. So it was about quantity of sound, not so much quality. In those days, they were really going for something that would just be heard. So this design really has the capability, the harder you play it, the louder it gets. It has an incredible acoustic tone. Nowadays, you've got pickups, you've got amplifiers, you've got great microphones. You don't need an instrument to be that loud, because when you have it that loud, it's a little bit harsh. To be honest, it's a little bit harsh. So modern archtop makers don't try so much for the piercing, cutting sound. They're trying to get more of a balance between the treble and the bass. So I started doing the archtop guitars in '74, and then pretty much by the mid '80s, I was only doing archtop guitars. I had so many orders for them. I was 4.5 years back on my orders.
Yeah. Wow.
And then I met Keola. He got me started on the double hole. And I started making more and more ukuleles. I made some ukuleles in the '70s, but I got into it just full tilt boogie. And probably by the mid '90s, I was making a lot of ukuleles. And now I would say half of all the instruments I make are ukuleles.
Wow. Yeah. You were just featured, I forgot to give you a shout. You were featured in the Star Advertiser for After the Rain, that beautiful single. And if you want to view that beautiful video, it is on his website, Grime Guitars, and also Inflatable Film, which if you want to donate to the documentary too, there's a nice donation link there as well. So I'll be putting that all up. And oh, wow, this is really cool. By the way, I meant to call you Igor earlier, but you didn't hear me.
Igor, it's a line from a song I wrote. It's called Duality. But Igor, my alter ego, he's my doppelganger wherever I go.
Nice.
Yeah, I blame all the bad stuff on Igor.
I like that. What are we going to share now? Thanks so much for the tour of your workshop. That was so beautiful. Thank you so much.
That worked out. We didn't know.
Hey, that was a cool last minute thing. Hey, we're learning something new every day. This show is getting cooler every week.
Do I have time for one more song or a couple more songs?
Yeah, we got time, sir. We started a little late, so we got plenty of time. Go ahead. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Grimes.
How about the guitars? To me, I don't hear it. You hear it?
I hear it. Yeah.
A song called It's All Good. Another little ode to optimism, per se. Some people say that life's a bitch, and I know for some that's true. Others will tell you that life is rich, it's all your point of view. You can't stop the storm that's blowing your way. You can't chase the clouds that darken the day. So just ride with the tide and drift on the wind. And tomorrow you do it again. So far, so good. Whatever happens will be as it should. The mysteries of life can't be understood, but you know it's all good. might carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Let the rain blow right off your back. And when the wind is against you, take a different turn. If life is a wave, we're on for the ride. There's nothing to say for the other side. So if you believe in life before death, then live it until the last breath. So far, so good. Don't stand in the shadow of where you stood. The mysteries of life can be understood, but you know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. Whatever happens will be as it should. Live to the hilt this moment in time, and you'll find it's all good.
It's all good. Woohoo! You've got such a great attitude, sir. I wish that there were more gentlemen like you in the world. I tell you what, the way you and your wife were, that was so beautiful. And I love you have a fun sense of humor. Do you like comedy? You could do stand-up with
Love
you.
comedy.
Oh, wonderful.
And my wife tells jokes. I don't laugh. I tell jokes, and she doesn't laugh. And that
Tough
makes
crowd.
me laugh so much. But we don't. Jokes don't work.
Well, I'll have to get my boyfriend to do some stand-up comedy for you one day. Kula.
I would love it.
The Kula Club. Now, a lot of people might know you from your bands. You were in Raising Cain. Remember that back in the day? Kula Cowboys, Ono Grimes, which is my favorite name for a band.
Raising Cain,
Yeah.
Green Alley, the Well Hungarians.
You are funny.
We've had some bad names.
That is bad.
Generally good music, bad names.
That's okay. Now, with quarantine, you're pretty lucky. You have this beautiful home, which is also your workshop. You really haven't had to leave to go to work ever. You know, you're up in Kula. And what's keeping you positive during all of this? Music and just home cooked meals, or looking at that beautiful sunset from Kula?
All of that, all of the above. I would say that being busy and having some work to do when so many people are struggling, I feel so fortunate and so lucky. And I have a sign on the wall of my shop up there, and it says, the greatest accomplishment is to blur the line between work and play. And that has been, you know, what I tell kids that are like, I'm not sure I want to be a doctor or a lawyer. Do whatever you want to do, but just make sure it's something you like rather than something that, you know, pads the pocketbook.
Yeah.
You know, do it from the heart. And that's, I was lucky enough to quit Boeing and start making instruments in 72, 73. And I never looked back, and I'm just, I've got so much to do, so much to be thankful for.
Well, we're so thankful that you didn't slow down. I'm sure a lot of the musicians watching too used to be such a gem of Bounty music in the back, like, you know, fixing all the instruments, and Tom Conway's in the front hustling.
Oh, old Paia days. Yeah, there was Mike Lassiter working the front, Tom Conway worked the front. I was fixing instruments in the back. That was 83.
Ooh, classic time. Paia is kind of like it was in the 70s, 80s right now. It's like a ghost town.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
Scary.
Well, Steve, the best way we can follow you is just pretty much your website, right? grimeguitars.com.
There's a website that's called grimestunes.com.
Okay.
It has my last 3 CDs
Oh,
that
wonderful.
you can listen to and order if you care to. Some people still have CD players.
I do.
You can download, I'm sure, at Spotify and Amazon and iTunes. But I've got a new album coming out. I've got 14 new songs. I don't know. I still can't decide whether I want to make one of those little round 5-inch plastic discs.
Ooh.
Because they're like dinosaurs. They're becoming like dinosaurs. And
Maybe some vinyl.
I have vinyl. Yeah, I did my last album, The Ocean Road, I did on vinyl.
Mhm.
Anybody needs some, there's still plenty left.
Hey, I like that. Let's push that. And also Assorted Chocolates was a good album.
That was actually the latest one. That was 2017, and Ocean Road was 2016.
Mm-hmm. Well, we look forward to more from you, sir. You never cease to amaze us, and I just really appreciate you opening your home and your workshop and sharing that beautiful moment with your wife, which was so endearing. She's a character. I like her.
Oh, it's so much fun. She's a writer as well, and she opinates very heavily on my songs, both musically. She's not a musician, but she has this most astute take, an intuitive take on music. And of course, the lyrics, she's a writer as well, so I get her opinionation on everything.
It sounds like a dream team to me. If only we can be as cool as you two, I swear. Thank you so much for opening your home, Steve. Any last words before we end this beautiful show at Mana'o at Home?
It's probably not time for a song. I actually was thinking if I finished up with something, I should finish up with the One Last Thrill,
Okay.
which is a song I wrote on the day the ballistic missile
Ooh.
Hawaii from Kim Jong-un. Remember that day? January 13th, 2018.
Yep.
And
I remember that day.
It's called One Last Thrill, but I'll play it another time.
We'll play it there. Well, everyone goes to Grimes Tunes and download his music, listen to it. Go to inflatablefilm.com. They have that beautiful video up of After the Rain, that's like my new favorite song. It's such a beautiful song. It really takes me back and just like, classic American singer-songwriter, just beautiful words and a great sentiment and a great piece of a great instrument. So thank you so much for today. Oh, it's been my pleasure, Steve. I hope you had fun.
Yeah, it was really fun, and I'm glad we got the remote camera working in the shop. And it's not a play shop.
It's
still a workshop.
It's still.
Thank you. Aloha, everybody.
Aloha. It's your chapel. It's the chapel. That's where he goes to church. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I'm Trish da Dish here every Thursday. Much love to my family at Mana'o Radio for allowing me to share this platform and ways to, display these beautiful musicians on Maui when it's kind of, been strange days across the music scene. This is a really nice way for us to get to know our artists and at the same time hear some of their original music, which I always enjoy. Next week we have Koa Lopes. He's from Innovision. We're really excited. He's got a brand new album coming out called 2020 Vision, and we're really excited to share his unique reggae and hip-hop sensations. And then the next week we have Randall Rosepond, which I'm very excited about. And he's a Mana'o radio DJ and also hardworking guitarist, singer-songwriter on Maui. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm Trish da Dish, live and lively every Thursday at 4 p.m. with Mana'o at Home. Peace and love. Be kind to each other. Keep it real. Aloha. All right, guys. Bye-bye.